Welcome into episode 5 of Before and After. I'm Vince, joined by the ever fantastic Spencer. Spencer, how you doing today?
With that intro, I'm doing so good.
You doing fantastic?
Fantastic.
Well, we recently just did an episode doing our after for John Wick 3, Parabellum. Hopefully you listened to that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know we loved John Wick.
Loved it.
Loved it?
Loved it. How many times can I say loved it? I loved it.
Well, for this episode, we're going to be kicking it off with the before. We're going to be switching from movies to music. We're going to be doing Pink's Hurt to Be Human latest album. It was her third one to go number 1 on the charts, and it's just an incredible album. A lot of pain you can hear as it says it hurts to be human. But we're also going to be getting into a few things movie-wise. Wolverine, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the latest episode of Black Mirror. Get into GameStop closing, and then Colbie Caillat has a new band. If you ever listen to her, new band, and it's pretty good. It's a mixture of multiple things. So let's get right into it. Pink's Hurt to Be Human. Spencer has not listened to Pink in a long time, and you were looking up some stuff.
I was looking up her discography, and the last song that I saw that I recognized was a song titled Just Give Me a Reason, back in 2013.
That's 2013. That's with Nate Russ from Fun?
Yes. To say I haven't heard her in a while is an understatement. I haven't heard her in forever. So what I'm looking forward to is a fun summer album. There's a lot of, it's always the who's going to have the song in the summer. What I'm looking forward to for this one is something that I can have a good time listening to.
Now, it did come out on that magical Friday, April 26th. We got Me from Taylor Swift, we got Hurts to Be Human, and we got Avengers Endgame. It was a packed Friday.
I don't remember doing anything that Friday. What about you?
But a lot of great songs in it. I've listened to it. Spencer has yet to do so. A lot of great songs. I can run through them if you like, just to give you some of the top songs on there.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because a few of them, she did a lot of collaborations, but a few of them, they're just either just too slow or it's a little bit harder to get into. So right off the bat, she did an interview with Ellen. She talked about Walk Me Home. That was the single she released, and she sang a little bit of it. And on Ellen, she kind of had to get into tune. So her voice, she's like, nope, that's not right. So then
really?
Yeah, it took her a second. And then she just sang beautifully. Like, how can one person have such a great voice? But things like Hey Why, Miss You Sometime, Hurts to Be Human is good, featuring Khalid. Can We Pretend with Cash, We Could Have It All, and Happy. You got to check those out. The rest, I'll leave them up to you.
Really? All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. We'll get into that. There's a lot of stories behind that, and that'll be in our after episode for Pink's Hurts to Be Human. We're going to take one quick break and then get into some movie news. All right, time for some movie news. We're going to be kicking it off with a possible new Wolverine. Matthew Vaughn, he was the producer for Kick-Ass and the Kingsman Golden Circle. Have you seen those by chance?
Now, I saw the first Kingsman. I haven't seen Kick-Ass.
You haven't seen Kick-Ass at all?
No, I haven't. It's based off of a comic book, I believe. So what am I missing?
Yeah, that's your field, your expertise.
But Matthew Vaughn, if I'm correct in saying, I believe he directed X-Men First Class. And I love that movie. So
you're like a hit or miss X-Men fan, it seems like.
Yes, I am.
Kind of like those movies, hit and miss.
That's a perfect way of describing that franchise. So anything Matthew Vaughn's in, you instantly got my attention this could be awesome. Because the first Kingsman I loved. Haven't seen the second one, though.
That's Golden Circle, I believe. Samuel L. Jackson's in one of those. But Matthew Vaughn was asked about Tom Hardy. He says, I really think it would be fun to cast Tom Hardy or someone as the young Wolverine and then bring it all together at the end. Logan was released probably last year-ish, and that's the end of him. So we got a younger Wolverine. We've kind of seen that in the beginning days of X-Men, but how young can you go, especially with Tom Hardy?
In 2000, I believe it was 2000, was the first X-Men, was Hugh Jackman. He wasn't old then.
No.
So I feel like whoever they're going with, they're in it for the long haul. and whoever this is going to be, they're going to be combined into the MCU as a whole. So I hope that they get a really young cast in general, not just Wolverine, but just younger, like they did with First Class. And I'd be okay with Tom Hardy. I'd be all right with that. I mean, I know he's done a lot of comic stuff, so it might be a little hard to pull that away as you're watching, but I think he can pull it off. The guy does an accent for every movie he does. I think he could do it just fine.
Did he have one for Venom?
Yeah, it was like a
trashy
San
New Yorker
Francisco type accent. It was silly, but that movie was silly. Let's just say that.
Well, in other news, Sonic the Hedgehog, we touched on it in a previous episode, but it did get delayed. If you are on Twitter or just anything that popped up, you knew that fans were not happy with the first trailer, and he didn't look right, and that was a big problem, and people wanted it to get remade. The director came out and said, "We've heard you. We heard a lot of you. We're going to make the changes to make Sonic the way it used to be." So there's a new picture that just got tweeted out, and Jeff Fowler, he's a part of that. He says, taking a little more time to make Sonic just right. And you see on there, Sonic is holding a sign that says February 14th, 2020. And the only other thing that you see from Sonic is his hand. And he's wearing a white glove as he did before.
Yeah.
In the first trailer, he just had a white hand.
It was just like discolored fur.
It didn't make sense.
It looked weird. What do you feel about the movie getting delayed? I know it's only delayed like 3 months. What was it? It was November to now February. How do you feel about that? You okay with that?
See, I don't know how big this movie's going to be. I think that, you decide from there. Because their biggest star is Jim Carrey. He's going to carry it. If you've seen any of those memes or any of those articles, he's going to carry this film, and he's playing a great role. Looks like the part. But it's Sonic the Hedgehog, and you're delaying it to do all the visual effects all over again.
I feel like we've heard so much in the movie industry and even in the video game industry of overworking. You'll hear a story about, when Mortal Kombat 11 was coming out, people were working, 60 plus hour work weeks. And it could be horrible. So whenever we heard that, they're going to redesign Sonic, but they're not going to move the release date, everybody was just like, okay, I don't want to be one of those VFX artists right now. That would be horrible. So personally, I'm glad that they're moving it. Don't overwork these people. They didn't sign up for that.
No, and it would be terrible to still release the film and having your main star, the graphic wise of Sonic, just look weird. Because that would take away from the overall film.
It could really pull you out of it. It could just be disappointing experience in general. I think if I have the choice of good CG but a bad-looking character, or really bad CG and an okay-looking character, because no matter how you design Sonic, it's going to look ridiculous.
He looked like Cat in the Hat before they made the changes.
If I had the choice, I would choose the better CG and the poorly designed character. So I hope they take the time on this one. I hope they know what they're doing. Like you said, we don't know how big this is going to be. Video game movies don't really do so well. So I'm glad they moved it. I hope they know what they're doing.
Hopefully it's worth their time.
As a Sonic fan, I'm excited.
Now, you also just got Netflix, so you can start watching some stuff on there.
Yes,
Have you watched Black Mirror at all?
No, but I've heard people talk about it.
Every episode's different. And a lot of it looks like it's going to come true. It's just kind of sad. It's more of a realistic, futuristic thing. But Miley Cyrus, fresh off her new EP, She Is Coming. Miley Cyrus is the title of that. She started acting and was in an episode of Black Mirror. They're in their 5th season, and the episode is called Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, and she plays the character Ashley O, who is a pop star. You ever picture Miley Cyrus acting again?
What was the last thing she acted in?
Other than Hannah Montana, I don't know.
And then there was like a Hannah Montana movie, I think, which I never saw.
But all of that so long ago, and then she just went straight into music, I think, right?
It's been a really, really long time. But yeah, maybe I'm weird. Whenever you hear somebody outside of the movie industry or somebody who's not an actor in a movie, the first thing is, what does that mean? But then I believe the movie was The Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld. She does singing on the side, and I was blown away.
I didn't know she could act so well.
I didn't either. And then I saw Bumblebee, and I was just like, okay, you're somebody to watch.
And she's gorgeous, but she was also in another singing movie, Pitch Perfect.
Oh, Pitch Perfect, yeah.
She kind of played a more realistic person.
Absolutely.
She wasn't just casted as the hot girl, you know?
Right. Which
she has talent.
You know, you could do the Michael Bay route of just, here's somebody has some eye
model.
Candy here. But
was that Transformers 3 where they brought in the actual model?
Yeah.
When Megan Fox was gone?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh boy. But so whenever I hear somebody that's, outside of movies, even if it's just not their main thing that they do, at first I'm a little skeptical. But Miley Cyrus, I might be in the minority on this one, but this might work. I'm okay with it. What about you?
I think it's great, especially, she just got married to Thor's brother. She's looking good again. She went through that whole wrecking ball stage, but, she finally has her identity, and she seems like she's calmed down. New music on the way, of course, as I mentioned, but she played Ashley O in here, and a weird thing I thought, or cool thing I thought, was she did a bunch of rewrites of Nine Inch Nails songs. So really? I don't know if you've heard Head Like a Hole, but she kind of rewrote it to I'm on a Roll. She did something like that. The other one was Nine Inch Nails did Right Where It Belongs, and she did a Popovide version of that. So if you're a fan of that kind of music, and Miley Cyrus, I think it's a really good mix. They did have to leave out a song. They did a rework of Hurt, and they turned it into Flirt, but they had to leave it out, and they're kind of upset. But what do you think of them changing that around?
As long as it doesn't change the scope and the scale of the story, you can take some liberties with the music. So that's okay.
And now our last bit of movie news here. PlayStation Studios, Spencer. You have had a PlayStation. They are looking to, make their games into films. For example, they have God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us. Any of those three, or anything else you have that you would want PlayStation Studios to make a film of?
I think, and not just going off that list, just in general, I think their best bet would be God of War. God of War was either the fastest selling PlayStation game or the best selling PlayStation game. Spider-Man won the other one. Just, if I'm wrong about one, just reverse it. It's either the fastest selling game or the best selling game for PlayStation. I feel like not too many people know enough about Horizon Zero Dawn for it to gain a theatrical release. Maybe as like a mini series on a streaming service or whatever. And The Last of Us, I feel like that game in and of itself is like a cinematic experience.
That's exactly what my point was going to be. They can honestly just, blow it up on the big screen.
Right.
With God of War, did you see the things going around that Jason Momoa is in it and it's coming out soon?
No, I didn't.
Or was that false?
I didn't hear about that.
I saw a couple things. I was like, it's coming out too quick and we heard nothing about it. We'll have to double check on that. But if you had to pick one film, it's not going to be MLB 2K19. So what is it?
2K19.
Or the show 19. What would it be for you?
If I had to pick one, you can't do Spider-Man. That's Sony, or technically Disney's thing right now. I'm going to go a weird one. We've heard about Sly Cooper for a long time. I'd like a Sly Cooper animated movie. He had some really, really good PlayStation 2 games. He's like this little raccoon that would go around stealing stuff, and it was incredible, and it was just as zany as it sounds.
All right. Is it kind of like Crash Bandicoot in a way?
Yeah, like a platformer kind of thing. What about you? What movie would you want to see?
Well, if the God of War thing is real, I want that. I haven't played Last of Us, but I'm a huge fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. I think they can do a lot with that. A lot of wildlands in there, different tribes. It's set way back then, but they have futuristic technology, and they kind of put it together. Great idea, I think.
All of these games, you see these trailers for it, you see the scale, you see the setting, mind-blowing. So I'm sure whatever they pick, they can do a really good job with it. We finally have a studio that's willing to take matters into their own hands, so to speak. So because Tomb Raider, what was that? What was that?
The Tomb Raider,
Universal.
Yeah,
that wasn't the video game company making that. So I'm hoping that they understand the project that they're working on and they really put their all into it, because I don't think we've had our good video game movie yet.
The next one to come out would be Witcher.
Really?
Henry Cavill played Geralt of Rivia in that one, and that's going to be a Netflix original.
I've never played The Witcher.
Have you heard how awesome it is, though?
I've heard how awesome it is, and I know I need to play it.
Mostly from me, you've heard it, but it's a great game, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But I like that point that you said PlayStation Studios made the game, make the movie. Same people do it.
That one vision throughout the whole thing, I think that's what we really need.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just going to lose it. And like with the Tomb Raider movies, I feel like the last couple ones haven't been the best.
Yeah, that would...
Because there was someone after Angelina Jolie that was doing it.
Alicia Vikander, I believe, was...
I wasn't a fan of those. I liked Angelina Jolie. I don't know about you.
I don't think I saw the newest one.
Well, there you go.
To be honest.
One little bit of movie news, movie-ish, game-ish news that I forgot to mention. You had talking about GameStop.
GameStop used to be my favorite store back in, I believe it was 2005, when I would go and pick up the latest Ninja Turtles game.
I think you're still doing that now.
Well, yeah. So, we've heard a while that GameStop's not doing so good. It's not exactly a surprise that a physical media provider isn't surviving in a digital world.
Yeah, man. I'm shocked to see like a Family Video open here and there,
I am more than shocked to see that.
How are they staying open?
At this point, it's just a joke. Who goes there?
I know they give out cheap stuff, but, if the stuff gets cheaper, how do you pay that rent? I'm confused.
I don't know. It's shocking. But I saw an article. This was on MarketWatch. And they were going into just, we knew it was bad. But they're just going into how bad it is to the point where they're changing their CEO approximately every 3 months.
At that point, just shut it down.
They've closed down 150 stores. That was just last year. They're planning on closing more. But it went a little bit deeper than that. And they think that GameStop might officially close, like Toys R Us style, just out and about.
I forgot about that, yes.
I never forget. In 2019, by the end of 2019, they think GameStop will be officially gone. How do you feel about that?
It's too soon. And I still see it as, I see it more than, obviously the Family Videos or Blockbuster, especially Blockbuster. But even just going to the mall, they have GameStop. The stuff, a little expensive. It's not a place you get too much discount stuff, but...
I remember reading to combat this digital trend, because, it's like, what is it? I believe it's 75% of all video game sales are digital now, and about 25 are physical. To combat that trend, since they're a physical media only, I remember they started like selling not like toys, but just like little knickknacks. They'd have those pop figures, they'd have like backpacks and whatnot. And I remember being in one once. I'm just like, this is all insanely expensive. I can't picture anybody ever buying this. I don't know what you do at this point. It's hard. I'm going to miss them.
Yeah, there's all those games they're raising the price on. NBA was the biggest one I've seen. They put it to $150 and you get this whole ordeal. But they did a 60, 100, and 150. Most commonly, we see 60, 80, and 100 as the three different versions of the game. But yeah, other than trying to sell little knickknacks, I don't know.
I don't think they can do it. So I think we'll be saying goodbye to GameStop in 2019, which I'm a little disappointed. I'm a physical media person. That being said, I haven't bought a game from GameStop in forever, which I think is what everybody say. So I wish them all the luck in the world, but I don't think they're gonna make it.
Well, let's say goodbye to our movies and game section here and take a quick break to get back with some big music news. All right, some big music news. Spencer, you ever listen to Colbie Caillat?
All right, it's been a while. The last time I heard her was in, I believe it was 2008 on Taylor Swift's Fearless.
They did a song together?
It's been forever.
You think he's a Taylor Swift fan? Well, she's also sang Bubbly. I Never Told You, Fallen for You, Brighter Than the Sun, I Do, and Never Gonna Let You Down.
Okay, so I've heard her more recently than 2008. So it's like 2009.
She has a lot of great songs. Her last album was the Malibu Sessions in 2016. So she's been gone, but she's made a new thing. She's in a new band, and they're called Gone West. It's a new country pop band. And the quote was, you actually have known them forever. Apparently, their band name may be unfamiliar, but the members are anything but. They're a quartet. It's led by Colbie Caillat, her fiance Justin Young. He's very interesting looking. Her longtime collaborator Jason Reeves, and his wife Nellie Joy. So the four of them have a new EP out called Tides. There's 4 songs. Their starred one is Gone West, Home is Where the Heartbreak Is, Confetti, and This Time. Spencer, what do you think of country pop?
Is it wrong that anytime you said Gone West, I keep thinking Go West, the band from the 80s?
A little throwback there.
So country pop. I am not a country person. However, I'm not going to lie. There's a few songs where it's just like, this isn't half bad. A song like 22, that can get in your head all day. All day.
I forgot to ask, do you like Taylor Swift?
Just a little.
Okay.
So when you hear country pop or even country rap nowadays, because that's a thing.
What is the news? It's on number 1 on the chart, Spencer. What is it?
Old Town Road.
There
it ain't
go.
going nowhere.
Nope.
So whenever I hear that, it's always a, okay. But, I just got to give it a chance because I've been surprised in the past before. It is still country though, so I got to get past the fake Southern accents. It's something to look forward to. Anytime there's somebody big in the music industry moving, because this is a big deal, getting an entirely new band.
Yeah.
This could be big. We might see her fairly recently releasing something big here. So I'm excited. I'm not going to lie.
I like that it's 2 couples that are together.
There's something nice about that.
It's not, going on the road, being separated forever. They might actually enjoy it a little bit more, be closer to their loved ones. Well, that's going to do it for episode 5 of Before and After. We did our before on Pink's latest album, Hurts to Be Human. So coming up, we got the after. That's going to do it. I'm Vince.
I'm Spence.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.